and welcome to this video. So in this video I'm just going to be doing a top-down analysis on the US 30. I just want you guys to generally just understand how I view the market, how I go from the higher time frame down to a lower time frame. Okay, so as usual we're just going to be starting from the monthly and down to the hourly and maybe 4 hours, just to see how I do my top analysis. So if you could see from the monthly, the market has been buying right from 2000. You can see back, way back, that you can see from when the Dow Jones, now this is Dow Jones moving average, that's like measuring the 30 top companies in the US. So you can see generally the market has just been buying and buying. And what you need to understand is the market doesn't just buy, it goes up, drops down, goes up, drops down. And anytime you have, when the market is coming down, it's really called correction. And you could, if you are the person that watches the news, you hear the news saying the market lost this, the market lost that, the Dow Jones lost $2 trillion in less than a week. All those, but as far as I'm concerned, they are BS. They're just way to scare people into selling, and then the market will start buying again. But if you're a forex trader with some accurate knowledge, then you know, okay, the market is only coming back to retest some points and then go back up. Now that doesn't mean you cannot make money even when you're selling. You still make money when you're selling. You can see the pandemic itself, the COVID-19, that was what dropped this market down to this point. But being traders that we are, and having our zones, we could easily predict where the market, and you can see clearly it went right on our zone here, and then a reversal back to this zone, then to the second and third, and now it's heading for the zone at the top. Okay, so I actually took these zones on my laptop, and I remember I showed you guys how to do that. Okay, so firstly you could so if you see this, even on the monthly they are very accurate zones here, but we'll go to the weekly to do that. Okay, to do those analysis. Okay, so now on the weekly, right, on the weekly now you can see everything here, right? You can see everything here, and there's another zone just after this one at the top, right? Okay, this yellow zone is a minor zone. I took that on the 1 hour. You can see another zone right here. Okay, so this is just for you to know how I do my top down analysis. Alright, so I got these zones here on the weekly, and there are more below. It's just I didn't really consider those ones because I'm just considering the immediate trend where my market is right now. My market is between these ranges right here. Okay, so once I have my zones plotted out, okay, now I could easily go back to the 1 day, and that's why I got this major resistance here, this minor zone. You can see right about here, if you notice there's a little bit of resistance on the daily. That was why I took this spot right here. Okay, so zooming in a little, because once the market came down, was selling, everybody, the market was running crazy, everybody was shouting this market is selling and selling. And once it got to the 18, close to the 18,000 mark, there was a zone there, and once it tested that zone, it moved straight back up to the next zone, which was on 21,000, right up to the one at 24,000. Next, you could see up, went back to this zone, came here. Okay, sorry, I can't really point to this using my phone, but basically I hope you understand what I'm trying to show you guys here. Okay, let me just use a little of this. So okay, you see it went from here up here, then came back to test the zone, and then went back up here. So once we break this level, you know, we're heading for this zone. We might expect a little resistance here, nothing to be scared of, but once we break this level, we know we are still in a buy trend upward. Okay, so now whichever strategy you use, you could easily say, okay, I'm having a buy market here. The next thing I'll do is, whatever strategy you're using, all you'll be looking for is buy setup. It doesn't matter if you're using head and shoulders, if you're using moving averages, whatever you're using, as long as you know, okay, I'm focusing on a buy market, then you know exactly what to focus on, and you get your entries. So you're not looking to sell in this market. Now if you were at this point, I notice, okay, sell started forming, and you say, okay, this market might fall back here, and you say, okay, let me just take short position, and you start selling. You can sell to this point, and once you get to this point, you expect to start saying, okay, if this crosses, I'll start selling again, but if it doesn't, I'll buy. So that's basically what I do. We look at this zone to know, okay, this zone is a major zone. So if market comes here and crosses, it's heading to the next one. If it comes and doesn't cross, it's coming back to the previous zone. Okay, so it's that easy. So the next thing I do personally is go to a lower time frame, like let's say the 4 hours. Okay, okay, we go to the 4 hours. Okay, I need to delete this now. This was just to give me directions. Okay, I zoom out, and I'm sure if you've seen all my videos, you know I'm used to using the 20 moving average low exponential for a buy market. So you could see how this market went. You could see how this market went, started here, went, came back to test this zone, and when it crossed this level, I could easily take expansion for this expansion, even if I miss this movement here. I remember this is the 4 hours, and you could take my strategy and apply it here. And you could just say, okay, at this point I'm having a buy stop, and here I'm having my stop loss. Take your expansion for this here. Usually I use MT4 because I'm more used to taking my expansion with that. Okay, so you could say, okay, I take my expansion here, I have my entries here on the 4 hours, and then I'll determine where this market is going to. So remember, this will be my entry, this zone here, right? So I had my entry here. You can see the market went up, up, up. This is using the 4 hours. Though we don't expect the market to just go up once, but once my trade is activated at this point, all I have to do is easily just wait and say, okay, my trade has been activated. So I could just go back, or I could just add my stochastic for those of you that use stochastic, and say, okay, this is a buy market. I get a pullback, and I get to the oversold region. I could always buy once I notice a buy formation upward, and I wait. Once you get to the overbought region, I close. A little reversal, you buy again, and I continue that way. Generally, that is how I enjoy trading. Okay, and it's so easy. It's so easy. I mean, guys, you could literally do this with just your phone, and you could always set alert. I mean, you could take all this pullback, and you could see the formation. Like, okay, you notice this market is a buy, and once you see a formation like this, you go to a lower time frame, that might be a head and shoulder formation there. You look for your entry, and you take your position. Okay, now basically, if you read the PDF I sent you, you would have seen head and shoulder formation and all those formation like trend line and all that. That's the major reason for you to study that PDF, so you'll be able to spot patterns. Okay, now the next thing I do is go to a lower time frame. I enjoy using the 1 hour for my entries, of course. Okay, let's say we are on the 1 hour now, and we could see how easy this is. I mean, literally, this is like printing money, because you know exactly where the market is heading, and you wait and you take your position. Okay, so you could see the first formation here. The market went up. Okay, went up, took a reversal, and we know our entry will be at this point using our strategy, right? At this point, we're waiting for a breakout, and we'll take our entry, and our stop loss will be at this point, right? Using our expansion strategy, Fibonacci expansion strategy. Okay, and we also need to confirm our entry using the JP25. Remember, we also use correlation to confirm entries. Okay, so you can see once the market got here and you have your stop at this level, you see it never got back to your stop, went up and up. Now if you take your expansion on MT4, you'll be able to predict your take profit, and according to our expansion on MT4, our second take profit was hit, but the third take profit is still at the top. Okay, so that's why I'll be looking at this setup here. and once there's a break to the top here, once there's a break up here, right, once it breaks here, and there's the same formation on JP 2500, once there's a break at this level, once price breaks this level, I take my expansion on MT4 to determine my take profit. But from using my zones, I know the next take profit will be at this blue zone here, this blue zone at the top. So basically that's just all I do. Okay, and I expect you guys to just study this, and in subsequent videos I'll be doing a video on MT4 to show you how I use correlation to jump on a trade. Okay, so basically that's all for this video. Learn to take your zones on your system. Just log into TradingView on your laptop, take your zones, and you come back on your phone and you find it there. It's as easy as that. So let's just do a little of gold. So you could see gold, this is a minor zone on the daily, but if you apply the same principle, I mean, this thing is so easy. It's just so easy. So from the weekly, you take your zones and you go back on a lower time frame. You know where your next zone is and you know what you are looking for. Okay, so I know a lot of people are selling gold right now, but I still expect gold to get to this next level, break that level, maybe come back, do a retest, and then go back to the next level at this point. Okay, so that's what I'm expecting from gold. A buy up here, a reverse. Now, just because I said a buy to this point doesn't mean you just jump on the trade. Generally, I'll just go back to a lower time frame, okay, and look for setups for buy positions. Just set up on the 1 hour using my Fibonacci strategy, and I get my setup and I take my trades. Okay, so it's as easy as that. So I go back to the 1 hour and I try to determine, okay, what's happening here. You can see this was a major resistance, so you can see the market just dropped from this level and everybody was shouting sell, 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 sell. If you're using this strategy, you are not selling. You wait for a pullback. You are definitely expecting for a pullback. You wait for a pullback and you notice there's a zone here. Now, combining with whatever strategy you use, I'm not going to tell you that my strategy is the only strategy you should combine to trade. You could always add some flavors. If you have a strategy that works for you for spotting a buy, you can always add it to this particular strategy and say, okay, my usual strategy said, okay, this is a very good buy, and jump on the trade. Always have a fixed stop loss. Okay, and in subsequent video I'll be teaching you guys how to determine how many percent of your account you're going to be risking on each trade. So but for this video I think we're done. Please leave a comment below, and if you enjoyed this video, do recommend my course to your friends. Okay, so I think I'm done here, and if you have any question, just send me a quick message and I'll reply you.